Welcome back to episode 4 of Roast Your Kit. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the German Milsim West videos that I've been putting out lately. Go check them out if you haven't already. And I know it's been a while since we've done one of these, so here's a reminder of how it works. You send in your kits, I roast them, and we share them here on the channel. As always, stay to the end to find out how you can get your next kit in the upcoming episode 5, as well as seeing my absolute favorite kit from this episode's submissions. Without further ado, let's dive right into the over 20 kits that you guys sent in. As a reminder, this episode's theme is Milsim, so any kits that you would use at a military simulation event. The first one comes from _David GER, and it is a KSM kit, one that we haven't seen on the channel yet. Now the KSM or Kampfschwimmer are relatively the equivalent to US Navy SEALs, but for the Bundeswehr. And here we see a beautiful collection of Multicam. Where this guy is from originally makes finding the real deal just a little bit easier, and he's put it all together really nicely here. I would give it a 10 out of 10, but my only minor nitpick isn't really with the kit at all. It's just with the KA4 replica, which I know he borrowed from a friend. The painted H key mixed with the unpainted G36 makes it just a little bit weird, but again, minor nitpick. Great job on this one. Our next kit comes from someone who submitted in the past before to tacter.ian, and he's given us his Milsim kit. This is very clearly a Cold War West German kit, and I love that you're using the G3. That is such an iconic weapon that I don't feel gets enough love. Now, I am not well versed in this kit, but I know some of you guys who are watching are, so let me know how he did in the comments down below. Just from what I'm seeing, it looks like a little bit of a bearing kit, so maybe there's more that can be added on. I'm sure there's details and other minor things, but I would say that this is a really solid start. For now, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10, and maybe that's just because of my ignorance, or maybe that's because there is more to add. Either way, let me know. I still think it looks great. And our next kit comes from another fan favorite, 54 SKP Kuchen or 54 Fenris Kuchen, depending on the account he's posting on. And what he's blessed us with today is a Spezial ABC Abwehrzug kit. This is used when there are harmful agents in the air, harmful chemicals in the area, and you need to be extra cautious on that front. He's using an original Bundeswehr CBRN suit, an Avon FM53 with an Airboss C420. Now, this is the second Airboss that I've seen in a week on kits, and I love it. I wasn't really aware of these prior to this, and it's such a cool detail. He's got the new Rheinmetall Gefechtshelm, which I love. That's a super cool helmet, and I'd love to pick one up, as well as a bunch of other Linderhof gear. He did say that he wants to swap the G36K-A4 for a standard G36A4, but I think that from a Milsim perspective, if you're going for direct impression, sure, change that. But I think it looks really good with this kit regardless. So as always, dude, excellent job on this. Solid 10 out of 10. Let's keep going though. This one comes from an airsofter all the way from Greece. AlpineFrogAirsoft sends in his Airsoft Milsim kit. And while it is a little dark, I do see that you have some custom Greek lizard there, which is really cool. Not sure if those are Roman Kermas repros or what, but the combination of the kit that you have definitely looks unique. I just wish the photos were a little bit brighter so I could actually see all the individual kit details and pieces. But regardless, I still think it looks pretty unique out there and not something that you see every day. So just because I don't know exactly what's going on, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I still think it looks cool from what I can see though. Nice job. B.Tac, another repeat offender, sends in his GROM kit. The Milsim West GROM guys have been there forever, and they replicate the kits of the real GROM dudes pretty darn well. This is an example of one of those multicam kits that works well together. All of the pieces look like they're supposed to be there, and it's worn well by the user. I know this is a solid impression. I don't know the reference photos or all the details by heart, so let me know in the comments how he did on this one. I'm gonna give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. It's not exactly my flavor, but it looks really good, so nice job on that one, B.Tac. As we keep going, we get another German kit from callsign britshithouse.egb. And here we have some really cool pieces. I love the combination of the Linderhof Tactic Pirate pants on the bottom with the Corinthia jacket on top. I ran that exact same setup at the Milsim West Chalet event that are in the videos that you guys have seen lately. It's such an iconic look, and you've nailed the look here as well. Getting those pants in general is very hard to do, so I commend you on that first and foremost. You've got EGB style kit, and I'm not exactly sure if they were issued those pants. If you are really good at EGB stuff in the comments, let me know. But I'm sure there were other ways to procure them. Overall, you did a nice job on this one. I'm gonna give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. My only nitpick, and this goes with every single German Spezka reenactor out there, is using those modern PTS magazines. Sorry, they're just a little far, but overall, you did a really good job on this. The next one comes from Chris P. Cassidy, and he is a member of Task Force Bottleneck, a Marine grunt impression group. And ironically, this guy is a Marine. As you can see, he's right in the middle in this photo, and he wears it well because this is the stuff that he was issued. From a Marine impression standpoint, 10 out of 10 kit, nice job, you got it. DJ Melendez sends in his Russian-inspired kit, and he took notes because he didn't include a leaf suit. So first and foremost, bonus points to you. As you guys know, I know almost nothing about Russian kit, but I will say that I do see a lot of Russian-inspired elements here. You've got some A&A pieces here, and I know that is a manufacturer that's been used by some groups in the Russian military, so I'll give credit where credit's due. You did a little bit of research and got at least those pieces. It looks like it was inspired by Blue Jean Operator, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Kit's still fine though. Let's keep going. Dual Nod God sends a picture without any nods. Instant 0. But let's take a look at his kit regardless. It is another Russian style kit. Looks like you got one of those Fort Defender vests on, which is really heavy, and I love that crisscross molly. It's just something unique that you don't really see in modern times. And I do know the field that he's playing at. This is one in my home state, and I have not been there in forever because it was not that good. So I commend you for at least running an impression kit at that kind of field. Hopefully you're having fun there and blasting people with that big light that you got. I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10 just because it's a little bit heavier in a CQB arena. Nice job. Dweelevrai sends in a NOM-style kit. Now, we didn't specify what unit this is supposed to be representing, but I do see some cool elements such as the tiger stripe and the M56 gear, as well as that oval carabiner. Those pieces are pretty cool, and there's not really anything wrong with the kit. I would love to know a little bit more about what you wanted to represent with this kit, so I can't give it a perfect score. It does look cool, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Maybe a little bit more detail would be nice, though. One of the newest KVB members sends in not a German kit. Fitzygoespew, another repeat offender, sends in his 2012 SASR Rifleman kit. I'm not going to go too deep into the details of it. You can reach out to him. He's got a ton of stuff on it. But I know from my conversations with him that that slick plate carrier is rare, and it is super cool that he has it and is running it. It looks like a lot of other standard NATO accessories with multicam and multicam and multicam, but he does note that this is Cry Precision OSDEV top and AC bottoms. So extra kudos for getting those details. You wear it well, but I'm glad you came to the German side. 9.5 out of 10 because you lost my SD card. And here comes another kit from one of my close personal friends. This one is from Fralim and Gruppa Pennant. I'm going to plug both of them because at Shally, I got to talk with the Gruppa Pennant guys, and they are stand-up dudes. Highly recommend checking out their Instagram page, as well as the kit that they do. Fralish decided to run his PKM and a heavy set of body armor for the Shally event. Needless to say, he rocked it. I know the level of detail that he put into this kit, so it's an instant 10 out of 10, not just because he's one of my good friends, but because I know that he worked hard and created a good looking impression. If you guys want to do this kind of kit, take notes. It's Drew615 sends in his Multicam kit, and it looks kind of cool. I do want to see some more cohesiveness with this kit. Right off the bat, I see the triple Blue Force gear pouch empty up front, and that's fine. There's tons of photos of real military guys with those empty, but they kind of just look like a decorative piece there. If you drag those through the ground a little bit more, they'll definitely look a little more worn in and used. The jacket tells me you like to run a little sweaty, so I mean, props to you for running one of those. But what I do really like is the forearm piece that has, I'm not sure what on there, but it's a cool detail that you don't see on a lot of kits. You incorporated some of God's plaid M81, so I'll give you a couple bonus points there. I'm gonna give you a 7 out of 10. Good job on this kit. Maybe you'd like to see it a little more fleshed out though. Mark 8 Airsoft sends in a Multicam kit that looks like a door kicker kit. I'm not sure what unit this was supposed to represent, but it looks super cool. Those Blue Force gear pouches are getting used, and every piece of equipment on here looks like it's there for a purpose, which I commend. The helmet setup looks really solid. The plate carrier looks light and functional while still being able to carry the things that you need. And I love that you're not running a combat shirt, but instead running the jungle top, or whatever it's supposed to be called. The rifle setup looks really cool too. I like you have the multicam wrap on that LPVO. Good job, dude. I'm gonna give this one a solid 9.5 out of 10. Only because you got a little bit of that mesh mask peeking out. Just blur it a little bit more and it'll look legit. So good job. Mooley, or the Instagram handle Smallwag, sent me a really interesting kit that I want to talk about for just a few seconds. If you follow any of the US military training, you might know that there is a specific Opfor unit in the US Army that harasses and opposes some of the US forces during training. This guy is in the German Bundeswehr, part of their version of that unit. And what he described to me was that they use a lot of Russian-inspired kit pieces as well as some of their issued kit pieces while portraying the Opfor unit. Here you can see he has an ATAX uniform piece, he's got an Ops Corps style helmet, and they're running AKs in this photo. I think this is really cool and unique and not something that you get to see every day. So thank you so much for sending this in. Hopefully you guys got to enjoy a little bit of a unique look at something else too. Nick Harvey 7 sends in his Norwegian mechanized infantry kit. And so impressed that you're able to get more than 3 people together to do a Norwegian kit. I know you've been in the impression game for a long time because our conversations go way back, so I know that you've got a really well-researched setup here. And of course, the fact that, again, you got multiple people to do it, huge props. I love that camouflage that you guys rock. It looks unique and not something that you see every day because of how obscure kind of that nation's military is to the general reenactor sphere. I'd love to get a deeper breakdown of this kit. So if you guys are watching, reach out to him and find out more if you'd like. I'm sure he'd be willing to talk about it. Nick Harvey, 9 out of 10. Good job on this one. A legendary Milsimmer and recent winner of Roast Your Kit, Opfor Airsoft has sent in his North Korean Russian impression kit. Or rather, I'd say more of an inspired piece that he ran as Rust 4 Militia at Milsim West. We've talked a little bit about this kit before, so I won't repeat myself on much of it, but it's just such a cool concept and cool idea, and you were having a blast in all 3 of these photos. Maybe not the first one, I'm not sure what the deal is there, but you could tell that it's a cool kit to run. So props to you for putting it together and definitely drawing some attention out there. I love the orange and green pants. I'm sorry, I don't know the camouflage name off the top of my head, but super cool kit, 9.5 out of 10, only because we didn't get to take a picture together. Pipe Reenactment sends his 1970 US Navy SEAL Grenadier kit. ERDL top and the proper jeans that were period style. Just pull this kit together. That blue pops. And I also love the detail that you've gone to add things like the life preserver as well as the signal flare on your back. Props to you on running that XM148 with the correct heat shield up top. Looks pretty darn cool. Easy 10 out of 10 for me. Rock Ape Gaming sends a kit from the opposite side of things with his Vietnam War pattern kit. I see a lot of really good parts of this, but I also see some details to improve for sure. I love the netting and the scrim that you've done on top of your pith and how dirty that AK looks. But I will say, an AK-74, I'd probably swap out for an AKM at least. If you can find a Type 56 or build something a little more period correct, I'd strongly recommend that. I'd also say that bright reed green Chi-Com chest rig may not be the best thing to run. I do want to correct something. As I see in this bottom photo, you do have a brown chest rig. Keep that look. I don't know if this was a recent addition or if you went back to a green one, but keep the brown chest rig. I'll give you some points back on that. And my last critique is to cut that hair. If you do want to reenact these things accurately, having the whole John Lennon look for the 60s isn't really going to cut it for the People's Army of Vietnam. I'll say a solid 8 out of 10. I'd love to see you come to events and rock a pattern kit. Tombo Phillip sends his Multicam Kit, and I'm not sure if this was a direct impression from a specific unit. Maybe I'm misremembering or missed it in the messages, but this is one of my favorite Multicam kits that we've seen in this episode. The slim and minimalist nature of the carrier and equipment and that heavy Mitch 2000 give me classic 2000s vibes. I love the build that you got on here. I do gotta say, clean the Cheerios out of your rail, but jokes aside, I love this kit. I think it looks incredibly well put together, and the Australian flags that are blacked out is a nice touch. Easy 10 out of 10 on this one too. And before we get to the finale of this episode, the best kit that I've seen sent in, let's first talk about how to get your kit in episode 5. As you guys may remember from last episode, I'm doing these on a monthly basis now. That gives you guys a little more time to get your kits together, but it also gives me a little bit more time to kind of collect things, sift through, talk to you guys, and get more information. And with that, episode 5, I'm gonna need just a little bit more information. For the new year, we're going back to tradition, and I'm doing impression kits only. Done are the days of airsoft kits, done are the days of no reference pictures or kit lists. I need all of it again. So send in your kits via DM on my Instagram at the.Gear.Locker, or send them into airsoft.in.ct@gmail.com. And I need 3 things. 1, I need at least a couple photos of you and your kit. 2, I need a kit list. Detailing as much as you want to detail, go through some of it, but at least the basics. And then 3, for all my impressionists out there, send in those reference photos. 2 or more is best. And if you have ones that show the unicorn piece that you've got on, even better. And then I guess a bonus thing, if you want to add in any items or groups that you want to plug, let me know. These have to be sent in to me by December 28th. Saturday, December 28th, no later. We're gonna drop this episode on the New Year's Day, January 1st, 2025, and I can't believe we're here already. Let's move on to the best kit that was sent in to me. And coming from Lord.WCam, we have a 13th century English man-at-arms, about 1215 AD. And when I tell you guys that I love to see impression kits, it doesn't matter when it's from. Revolutionary War, 2024, today, or the 13th century. This kit is super cool. I know a lot of reenactors and people who replicate this time period need to put a lot more detail in manufacturing their own pieces of clothing. Forgive me for not knowing all the details of these pieces, but I'd love to know more. I love the chainmail that you got, the robe that's going over with the leather belt, just gives me such a medieval vibe. I know that's what you were going for, but it's so freaking cool. I'd love to see a picture of you charging into battle, and I'm not going to take any points off for that, but it's such a cool kit that I want to see more of it. So, Lord.WCam, congrats for getting the best kit of this episode. Thank you so much for sending it in, and thank you to all of you guys for sending in these kits. We had over 20 kits this episode, and each episode would grow more and more, so thank you for making this what it is. This is The Gear Locker. Send me your kits by December 28th, and we'll see you guys in the next one.